I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know. Out of control, you don't know me. I'm a danger to myself.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you are tuning in. This is Unapologetically Me, featuring me. No special guest. Just me. I'm going to jump right into it. I have moved this video to the front of the line. I began working on it last night. I finished it just now, and I am just going to push it out because it is urgent that it gets out as quickly as possible. This is the missing person case of Alena Mitchem. She is also known as Gracie. Gracie was believed to be lured from her home after being groomed by a predator online, possibly for some time. It is not known how long her communications had been going on with this person, but it is believed to have occurred. The access point? Her PlayStation. This is so fucking scary. You try to protect your children as much as you can. You picture these things happening out of the house, right? Not right from the safety of your own home. While you're there, straight from your child's bedroom. But it happens every day to someone's child. The facts are millions of children vanish each year. 83,000 a month, 2,700 a day, 115 an hour, and 1 every 30 seconds. Just stop and think about that. 1 minute from now, 2 more children will be reported missing in the United States. This is not only a huge problem, this is an epidemic. 3,000 children go missing every single day. And what's worse, the police can't even attempt to keep up with these cases. That's where we step in and advocate for these families. Gracie, born Alena Mitchem, was given the name Grace or Gracie by her father after she was born, by the grace of God. That is his quote for her, and that is where her nickname came from. This nickname stuck, and she has been known as Grace or Gracie ever since. In the early morning hours of September 22nd, 2022, Gracie walked out of her home in what appeared to be a typical runaway. But something not typical of a 15-year-old running away was packed alongside her spare clothing and $40 in cash. And that was all of her electronics, including her PlayStation console. She also took her identification, as in her social security card and her birth certificate. These things are just not typical of a child who's running away, to take your entire PlayStation console and all of your identification. The police still have Gracie listed as a runaway because there was a note left. But all outside sources that deal in missing children are seeing red flags popping up all over the place. Red flags that are signaling this. In Gracie's note, she told her family that she loved them and that she was going to be leaving to meet up with a woman. This woman was going to be taking Gracie to a safe place for runaways where she would be given this freedom that she was seeking. This person legit groomed Gracie and got her to trust her through a freaking PlayStation. Then she drove to her home, if it's even a she, because you can change your voice and everything on PlayStation. But this person then drove to Gracie's home, to her family's home, and picked her up right there, willingly, just like that. After the police were notified, it took 4 days for a detective to even look at her case. 4 days. This family lives in Spring Valley, California, which is in the San Diego area. They live 20 minutes from the U.S.-Mexican border. Some details about Grace. One is that she had not been fighting with her family. She wasn't in any trouble, she was doing well in school, and she was excited about getting her learner's permit to be able to start driving. She was upset that her parents wouldn't let her get a job yet, but other than that, there were only typical arguments about chores, and that's about it. In the note that she left, she talked about that because they wouldn't let her get a job, she wanted to go somewhere where she could do those things. Any place that takes runaways is not going to come and pick up a kid from their home and take them to a shelter. They wouldn't just come and be like, oh, you want to run away here? Let's come get you. No matter what, her parents still contacted all the youth shelters in their area, and none of them have had any new intakes. Because Grace is not on any psych meds or an immediate threat to herself, she's not considered high risk. So her name is only placed in a database for missing children. And at this point in time, the sheriff's department in their jurisdiction has 38 missing kids. Her parents do not believe that this was a typical runaway. Gracie would not just up and leave on her own. Her phone has not been turned on since she left. There's been zero social media activity, and her mother has said that they're very close family, and she would have called someone by now. She's also not very social in person. Most of her friendships were online, and her mother described her as very skittish and not confident around people that she doesn't know. So she would not be by herself in a shelter surrounded by strangers. That is not something she would ever feel comfortable doing. She had also just started a new school and hadn't made a lot of new friends. So there's really nowhere she could have run to. She was so shy that she didn't even eat lunch in the regular lunchroom at her high school. She actually ate in a science room with other kids that were shy. Her mother also said that she was a homebody and an avid gamer, and that the last month or so she had been spending way more time on her PlayStation than usual and was more reluctant to being around her family. Gracie is 5 feet 4 inches, 160 pounds, with faded green hair and hazel eyes. And when I say faded green hair, as you can see in these photos, she has brown hair and she's got a little green dye that's fading from it where it had been dyed earlier. She was last seen wearing a navy blue JROTC sweatshirt and Cookie Monster print shorts. Her family does have access to her Instagram and her Snapchat, but they believe that she was told to delete all of her Google history and to change her Google password because her entire Google history has been wiped clean and her Google password has been changed. On September 21st, the day before she left, she spent a lot of extra time with her siblings. She took a lot of photos, like as if she were making memories, and it has been said that she was crying a lot here and there, almost like she knew she was going to be gone and she was going to be leaving them. It was very reminiscent of someone who was going to be leaving for a long time, if not forever. The police have gone through the neighbors' Ring doorbell cameras and surveillance footage, and there were a few unidentified vehicles that came up on some of the surveillance cams. So police are going through that footage right now. However, at this point, all local leads have been cleared. The family has started a GoFundMe to help in their search efforts, and I am putting up that information right now. If you have any information, the phone numbers that you can call are the non-emergency sheriff's department. The phone number for that is 858-565-5200. The sheriff's major crime division phone number is 858-285-6354. And any tips can be referred to the Klass Foundation at 1-800-587-4357. Like I have said, local law enforcement cannot possibly handle 38 cases of missing children on their own. This family has come to us, to social media, for help to advocate for them and to spread awareness about their daughter. If you like this video, it will spread so that other people can see it and become aware of this missing child. If you share this video, even more people are going to see it. And that is my hopes when I put out a video on an urgent case, is that you like it and you share it and that you subscribe. These ways, my video will be pushed into the algorithm so that other people can see them. And when it comes to a missing child case, the more people that see it, the better, right? So you're not just helping me, you are helping the person I am talking about. If you have any questions that you think might help with this investigation, you can reach out in my email. It's listed in my description box of my channel. The family does know that I am putting this video out and has been very open that if I have any questions or need any questions answered that could possibly help with their case, that they are open to me contacting them. So let's please do our best to spread awareness about this case, and maybe by the grace of God, we can bring Gracie home. Thank you guys so much for watching. And please, like I said, liking and sharing is the best way to get my video to be seen by other people. And in cases like these, it is so important. I will talk to you guys on the next one.
Oh, you don't